Good afternoon, BYT. Welcome back. Look, I got something to show you here. This is what we're working on. Got my area. Sorry, we took that apart. Put it back in that pile. This is a mess right now, but you know, I got a little path to walk through. But I got the trailer out of here. Got that wall to work on still. That other wall over there to work on still. And that wall there, which is mostly all 2x4s and paneling. Mostly after the aluminum trim. And some of this block wood that's in there. Where's this size right here? There's a bunch of block wood like that inside those walls, and of course the 2x4s. But the 2x4s are heavy, so I'm going to try not to use those on the bus. I want to keep the bus as light as possible. So what I'm currently going to do is I'm going to work on these guys here and putting one on each side of the gate here. And then I'll take that steel mesh that's out there, right there, and I will just tack it in place temporarily. Take these ramps, put them here, because you think about it, it's a bit below my knee, but right now it is sitting on the bumper. So any weight that gets put on it at this point will be all on the hinge and on the bumper of the bus. So I'm going to attach my two legs to the side, because I'd like them to be stabilizers for when the ramp is down as well. So I will have to place them because they are at their lowest points right now, unless I can drill a hole through them and put a skid plate on them, and then just have the tripods for you know, when this is actually a part of the deck. Put the tripods on them. It gives it more stability. So that's what I'm currently after. I want to make it, I can walk in here and walk up the ramp into the bus. So I will show you how far I get. And I am protecting my feet. I got my covers on, protecting my legs. I got my apron on, and I'm protecting my eyes. What I'm getting ready to do is weld these two nuts in their locations. One will be straight across, so when the ramp is straight, you use these two holes, and this one is going to be the angle where that piece is. Now the angle is going to change depending on the ground, but before the ramp makes it all the way down, you put the leg on all the way up, and I might drill a hole in the bottom of that to where I can slide a flat foot on it, just for parking lots or whatnot. Don't have to have the tripods like that one has a tripod and I got a chain hanging from it. I'm using that to raise it and lower the ramp to keep it off of the bumper. So, and with the angle of this, the way I'm looking, I might be able to put a shorter back ramp on it. So maybe it'll only fold halfway down. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. And I got to make a tool that is going to go on an electric drill to turn these jacks. So you ain't got to sit there and crank it by hand. And not only that, but I'm going to use the square nuts or the square bolts or the square heads, so nobody can really mess, you know, with my ramps and my bolts while it's in place. You know, people are weird. They do funky shit. So, but, or I may even just drill a hole and put a pin in to keep the tripods permanently attached. I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. You know, I picked up a skid plate front end for the car hauler, and it's working great. You know, it's sat out here with everything on it in the garage. Never went in the ground. I didn't have to put bricks underneath it. It was quite nice. So anyways, I'm going to get to work on this. So in the end, there will be 3 nuts welded to this plate. This plate will be welded to the frame, and then I can just, you know, the floor is going to come up into here, so I can just take and weld the grating into this area. Just notch it out, lay it in there, weld it up. So this will actually be sticking upwards. So when the ramp is up, it'll stick inwards like that. And then just below that, not as far down as those two holes are over there, but somewhere in this area here, I got to measure the stroke on that cable puller, the raise and lower this. So wherever the stroke's at is how much cable I can have out at one time. So cable will only go so far. The legs will pick up the rest. That's my thing, my theory. Then but the cables have to be on an angle. Let's see here. It's hard to do this with. It's got to be on an angle enough to raise and lower. So I'd like to have it mounted somewhere over here, where I can just crank it, either on this side or that, or the other side. And I'm thinking on the other side, because if you have to put the ramp down, if you break down on a freeway or something like that, and you have to put the ramp down, you don't want to be in traffic. So more than likely the crank will be on that side of the bus, and I may just cut a notch into the bumper where it's solid, it's welded here, and the legs can be welded to the frame. I will have to see how much room I have, to work with this thing. See how thick it is, where it has to come out. I mean, it may come out right here at this edge. If I put it up in there and weld it to the floor. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be interesting to figure that one out. And then to figure out the pulleys and the cables. I'll definitely have the ramp end, the cable part adjustable. Because I think it's got 4 cables, so I may have 2 cables going to the ramp on each side. More the merrier. Go big or go home. I'll have a double pulley system up here somewhere, with the cables come up, go around the pulley and down to the ramp, and vice versa. So, one thing at a time though. See you in a bit. Well, that's how it's going to work. That's one jack, but it's all the way up. I got it all the way to the top because I started working on, make sure it ain't hot, started working on the hinge for the second ramp. A little on the stiff side right now, but I don't have any oil or grease inside on the tube or on the shaft. So I got this round shaft. I still have to weld here and down here. See if we can get it in there. See, I got the top. I haven't got the bottom yet. Got the top. I haven't got the bottom yet. Right there. So I still have to weld that. And I'm going to put some Zerk fitting. And I still have to put, even though I got these spacers in here, just like I have here, the angle iron, that's my stopper. So if I drop the other angle irons, I'm going to have to drop my stoppers back here down that far. Which, hey, is no big deal. I can do that. I can put a solid piece of steel across back here as a stopper, so when the ramp comes up, unfolds, it hits these plates on the other ramp, which allows it to not go nowhere. Because like I said, this was an axle off a trailer, and it runs through all these pipes, and it's welded to this pipe, to this square tube. It's welded to that square tube, so it can't go nowhere. These here, like I said, it's a little stiff, and of course I got my clamps in the way. but that would be all the way down. So it's not that it's hitting the clamps. That is as far as it would go. If it was folded back that way, that would be it. So more than likely it'll be like that, straight up and down, and then pinned into whatever I put down there. Oh, look at that! We got a little fire going. Got another one right there. I knew I smelled something. Gotta watch out for this stuff when you're welding. You don't want to walk inside, leave your stuff. This whole pile could have caught fire. So I mean, after I'm done welding, I stay around for at least a half an hour, and I look for any bits of smoke or any smoldering. Like right there is still some more. See? Clean it all up, push it into the ground, put it out. But yeah, this here is how it works. All right, this jack stand, as you see, is all welded in place, all the way around, top, bottom. Now what we have is, let's see if I can see, if you're getting it. Okay, there's a nut there, and there's another one down here. The one down at the bottom, crank this sucker down flat. You guys should be able to see it. So I'll have one on each side. Boy, she cranks really. And this is what I'm gonna make a socket that goes over top of this and onto a drill, so I don't have to crank this by hand, because it is very slow. And I want to do the same thing. I'm gonna have a socket on an extension for these, so I don't have to. Well, I mean, a ratchet works all right for those, but for raising and lowering, yeah, you want to be able to spin these suckers quickly, get them in place. But there will be a mimic of this one on the other side. See, going down, that thing's gravy. I almost spin it with one finger. So I mean, you know, and I'm telling you, know, it's not going to be. Gotta kick it a little bit because it was on an angle. So you gotta keep it straight. You know, and these will actually go. See, now that it's flat, come back here in the shade. See, the deck will have one of those on each side. And right now, this side is springy, but that side is not. This corner, if there wasn't hot welds, I could climb up here on this corner. Now once that side's on and down to the ground, you know, you can, hell, when this is done and the grading's on and everything, and it's out like this, if my motorcycle's up there, I can actually back my motorcycle out onto the deck here, you know, and leave it there. Let's park it, put it on the parking brake and let it sit. And have, you know, my covered porch, because I don't care about my motorcycle getting wet in the rain and stuff. But if I'm out and about and I want to sit outside and it's raining, I can just back the bike up here onto the deck and put my lawn chairs up in there and a barbecue grill or whatever, and I will be outside. I can even put the windows down, you know, cross breeze. You know, I can do that traveling too. I can put the windows down and let the air flow into and out the back, instead of creating a whirlwind where it comes in and goes in and then kind of creates a funny draft in there. I can just drop those windows, air will come in and come right straight out the back. You know, if I got gas cans or propane back there, any fumes or anything will come straight out. And I have been talking to somebody, and I think I'm going to go with a stack. Just because my exhaust pipe ends right there. Well, there's another almost 4 foot of bus underneath here, and if I have to stop somewhere, keep the air conditioner on and the bus at an idle and take a nap, I don't want this fumes filling up underneath my bus. So I think I'm going to put a 90 right there at that brace, come out to another 90, or even have it come up on an angle to like a 45. So like do a 90 and a 45, and then have the stack either right here or in this pocket going straight up the back of the bus. And I'm pretty sure I might go in this pocket right here where this little pocket sits, just for the fact I can put one of those heat shields. I can wrap a heat shield around it, but I want the stack to be straight, and it's going to have the popper on top. So yeah, I think and the reason I'm doing this right now is so as I work on this stuff in here, I'm just going to temporarily take that steel grating I have, and I'm going to tack weld it along this center section and put it down, and put these ramps just leaned up against it together so I can walk up and down into the bus without having to walk all the way around. As I finish stuff in here, get stuff made and cleaned up, I can take it in there as I'm done with it. So, and then, you know, the welder, I can walk up the ramp with the welder. I don't have to freaking walk over there, pick it up, set it down, go inside, walk around, go inside, pick up the welder, take it, you know, right. It's just gonna make life a lot simpler for me. So I'm gonna finish the folding part. I got the hinge started. I'm not gonna finish it, but I have it started. Like I said, I'm gonna put some Zerk fittings on it, and I mean, I'm only doing one hand here, you know, and I don't have a whole lot of leverage. I got the handle of a C-clamp. So, but as this goes up, here's the stoppers. I will have the gradient under here, and so I may actually pinch this down a little bit farther, or do something with it, bend it, just put a, you know, heat it up. I might heat this plate here, just put a little bend in it so it sits flat on the grating. But I will have that bump right here. This is how high the other gate's going to be from floor. I'll have a little upgrade here, which, you know what, going up, I'll be on from the ground level straight up, and then I'll have a little bump at the end as I go up the second ramp. Coming back down, I'll know when I hit the bump, I'm on the second ramp. Sorry about that, my video limit was reached. I must have hit the 10-minute mark. Alright, well anyways, that's it for me for today. I got one side done on the jack. I got the hinge started. I will do the other side of the jack tomorrow, which is this one right here. Or that one out there, it really doesn't matter. I already have the plate cut. I have to put it in place. I still have to drill a second hole in it. Or third hole, however you want to look at it. It's either below this one or below this one. I have to put the hole for the drop. So when the ramp is all the way down, you want the legs to be straight. Now they won't have the tripods on them when it's all the way down. So that's where the cables will come in. When the cables get to a certain point, you stop it. You come over, you put your jack legs on. So if you're using the ramp, you know which hole to put it in. I can zoom in on it from here. Top hole, deck. Second hole, ramp. So, and then you just leave, you put this one in, but don't tighten it. And then you position your jack where you want it, either on for a ramp or deck. And then you put your jack on, you put your post on, or foot. Because I am going to drill holes in the bottom of these to put clamps on, or hooks, pins. So I'll put one on that one, and I'll put one on this one as well. I'm going to determine on which, you know, these come off. So it doesn't really matter which one I put for making the purpose, because they're removable. The only thing that'll be left on is that plate with the threaded nuts on them. And my flooring will come all the way down here. I have to notch it out just a little bit to sit on this plate. Notch it out. It'll come in here. I'll weld it in there, and it'll be welded here. There will be a brace across here. So, and the same thing over there. And then I am going to prime this all before I even put the grating on. I will rust prime, and so I will sand and rust prime this whole, both pieces, because it will be painted to match the bus, just like these rails over here will be painted to match the bus. But anyways, that's it for me today, guys. If you like today's content and what's going on, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. I mean, if you don't like it, tell me. You know, you like it with thumbs up, you don't like it with thumbs down, leave me a comment. If you have ideas on, you know, what could make my job easier or make my life easier with what I'm doing, shoot me a comment. You know, they're greatly appreciated. I know not a lot of people are watching these. So, you know, if you have any opinions, if you like what I'm doing, tell me, please. So, whatever y'all doing out there, be safe. Have yourselves a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.